All right, welcome everybody to the 2022 Food Hub vendor training. I think we're gonna, since we're a small group, we can go around and introduce ourselves. I'm Robbie, I'm the local foods director at Cook Inlet Keeper. We started this Food Hub, oh gosh, this is our 7th year now, and I've been working with Kira over the past year to hand her the reins. So I'm going to pass it to Kira, and then you can pick someone to introduce themselves.
Okay, hi, I'm Kira Hardy. I'm the local food coordinator for the Alaska Food Hub. This is my 2nd season managing and taking over operations from local food royalty, Robbie here. And this is my dog, Hilda. She's not there with me, but she's here often in my room. Lois, do you want to go?
Actually, my name's Tina. That's my son's name. But I have a little operation called Jubilee Farms, and we have a couple of high tunnels and a whole buttload of chickens. We sell eggs right now to Cadre, and I do meat birds. And in the beginning of June, I usually sell a lot of cucumbers and tomato plants and strawberry plants. I just want to avoid going to a farmer's market all the time. So it'd be nice to have one day that we can drop food off. We do freeze-dried herbs and garden veggies all summer long.
Nice. Well, eggs are a big seller on the Food Hub. We can't seem to keep enough eggs to keep our customers happy. So come to the right place. Jacob?
Hello, my name is Jacob. My wife and I and our kids are starting a new farm this year. So we've been doing just a family farm just to feed ourselves and friends and family. And for a number of reasons, we decided to go ahead and scale up and actually launch a full out farm. So right now we're doing pastured chicken and duck eggs. So we have 150 some layers. And then we're doing pastured poultry, both chickens and turkeys. And then we do pastured pork and pastured lamb are the big things that we're offering this year. But we're out here in Sterling and now just looking to get more connected to find people who are as passionate about eating the locally produced food as we are about making it.
Awesome. Did you email us today about Food Hub or?
My wife did. Yes,
okay.
That was Meg. That's my wife.
I was like, that's great timing because we're having a meeting tonight. So good job. Good timing on that, wife.
Oh, yes. Totally planned that.
Yeah, totally. All right. Jeff, are you able to unmute and introduce yourself? And if you don't want to, it's okay too. If you can't figure it out. All right, we'll come back. And then the illustrious Satchel.
Thank you, Robbie. Yeah, my name's Satchel, and I work for Cook Inlet Keeper as well, and I've kind of moved into more of a support role for Food Hub, but had been manning it pretty consistently in the past. And I love Food Hub, and I especially love getting to know the producers around the Kenai Peninsula. So just excited to see new faces and new interest in Antarctica.
Awesome. And Jeff isn't able to unmute, but that's okay. If you, Jeff and Jacob, if you guys want to drop your email into the chat, we'll make sure you guys get a copy of this presentation. We will be putting it on our website as well, and the recording, but just want to make sure you can have quick access to that information. So let's see, I am going to jump right in. Let's see, are y'all able to see the screen? Cool. Awesome. Is that big enough?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, well, we're here. We're gonna take a look at our first 6 years. We'll go through those stats pretty quick. Just want to show you guys how much we've grown over the last 6 years, give you an idea of what the website and ordering platform look like. And then the second half will be the actual training session. We'll walk through what the online marketplace looks like, what the back end, where you guys will be loading products and all that. And a lot of the training videos are within our software already. So we used to go through the videos one by one, and we found that people really learn a lot better if you can watch the video than try and do what they are showing you or telling you how to do. So we kind of switched up our trainings a few years ago, and that seems to have worked out well for everybody. We'll also look at some of the feedback from our vendors in both the community, and then we'll let you know how to apply to sell on the Food Hub. This first slide just kind of shows when we opened our Food Hub, it was just us and Arctic Harvest as far as food hubs go for the state, and now there are 6. So there's Kodiak, there's another one in Kodiak that's starting up this spring, Salt and Soils down in Southeast, and they have several locations to pick up, like Juneau, and then Catch 49 is an all seafood hub, and they sell food in Anchorage and in Fairbanks, and then there is Arctic Harvest, which serves Anchorage and the Valley. Coming this spring is a new food hub ran by Lutic Grown, and it encompasses at least 6 different Indigenous owned farms. And so I don't want to mispronounce their food hub name, but you can look out for that to open up this spring. Yeah, so just kind of giving you guys a little lay of the land of food hubs in Alaska. Hey, Dan, just saw you popped on. Hello. So Dan is one of our long time. He's been here with us since day one. Dan, do you want to introduce?
Sorry I'm late. I'm down in California taking care of family matters. So I just managed to get in.
All right. Well, you know the
carry on, Robbie. We can always chat later.
Okay. Hello. Dan is out in Nicolaives, and he and his wife own Luba's Garden. So hope you get to meet Dan one day. He's great. So also in the works is a food hub working group for the state, and we're hoping to launch this in the fall. So looking at ways to possibly connect our food hub so we can be trading products between regions, and looking at best practices, lessons learned, all that kind of stuff. So our food hub was started in 2015 with a USDA local food promotion grant. It was to set up a food hub on the lower peninsula. So we were focused on Homer, Seldovia, those areas, and then quickly realized we could expand to include the Central Peninsula as well with very little, we had an office already there. We had some staff. And we had some great volunteers that were able to help support the food hub. So since then, we've added Nanilchik as a pickup site. We had a couple trials in Anchorage, and then hopefully this year we'll be adding some other communities around the bay, and possibly Anchor Point as well as pickup locations.
Okay.
I am not going to read you this whole timeline because that would be a waste of all of our time, but it is in the presentation and you can go back and look at it. Just shows you where we started and where we are now. Our food hub, we have a lot of community partners. So while the bulk of this is carried by Cook Inlet Keeper and its employees and volunteers, we do rely on a lot of community partners like both Homer and Kenai soil and water conservation districts. We've worked with Christ Lutheran Church in Soldotna as a pickup location before we had a big enough office to do it ourselves in our Inlet Keeper office up there. The Seldovia Village Tribe and Smoky Bay Air have both helped with transportation and outreach and a whole gaggle full of other people. So this is just to show you this really is a collaborative endeavor. Most of our customers are individual buyers and small businesses. Places like restaurants and institutions, they usually need a lot more quantity than the Food Hub can provide right now. So we stick with the smaller individual buyers, small businesses, and also a lot of our farmers already have relationships set up with a lot of the restaurants in town, and they want to keep those, keep managing them themselves right now. So we kind of just focus on those. And then most of our producers are farmers. There's a handful of fishermen, and then cottage food products and things like kimchi and jams, baked goods have really found a home here on the Food Hub. About 3 years ago, we worked with the state and the Muni to get variances to be able to sell cottage food online. That was a first for the state. And we have proven that it is safe and effective, and we can track down information should a foodborne illness arise. It hasn't happened yet. And if you're not sure what cottage food means, it's food that is produced in a non-permitted kitchen. And it's food that has a really low risk of having any sort of foodborne illness because of how it's prepared. So jam, for example, the sugar content prohibits bacteria growth. Bread, the baking process kills off any bacteria. So things like that. One thing we haven't found good as good of a fit for is craft items. They haven't sold super well, and we are a food hub, so that's okay. It's not going to be a good fit for all of our products. Here's a few shots of our Food Hub in action last year. It's here in Homer, we use the United Methodist Church, which is also the food pantry distribution site. So it works out really well, very similar infrastructure needs there. We're now going to jump into, we're going to jump into the Food Hub website. We just got a new website. So Kieran are still spiffing it up. It's pretty good looking right now, though. We streamlined a lot of things, took a lot of the extra information off, but this is where you can go, if you need. I guess you guys all found us through this website, so you know it's there, but this Become a Vendor at the top has all of our vendor information, all the forms you'll need, and then the shop, the marketplace, takes customers right to where they can buy food. So lots of information on there. I'll let you guys check that out. These are our opening days for the year. We have opened in Homer. We're now here, I think this is our third week that we're open, and this is the earliest that we've ever opened. So we've got a lot more year-round products like KB Coffee and Two Sisters Bakery that can support opening earlier. In Soldotna, we will open, and Ninilchik, Seldovia, will open on April 27th and run through October 12th. Right now, our pickups are 3 to 6 in Homer, and then In Soldotna, it's 4 to 7. We may be shortening that window just a little bit, but that's on the customer side of things. So this is what our online marketplace looks like. Every vendor. Oh, Dan, I didn't plan that. I didn't know you were coming, but here's Dan's profile, Luba's Garden. So every vendor has what we call a virtual stall, so they can put a little information about themselves, how their growing practices, a website, and any other information that you want the public to know. So it's just a way for folks to get to know their farmer a little bit more. And then on the right, that's what all of the vendors look like together in one page, and they're all listed in alphabetical order. So folks can click on the icon and then it opens it up to your virtual stall. Here's what our ordering platform looks like. You can search by producer, you can type in, hey, if you're only looking for eggs, you can type in eggs up here, and then you can also sort by category. So there's a number of different ways people try and find items. If you're like me, I go through every single, I just scroll down, and I just love to see the diversity of products. And yeah, so this is what an order confirmation would look like to a customer. It breaks down the items bought, who they bought it from, and then other information like cost, tax, any discounts that might have been applied. And then the day of the food hub, bright and early at 5 a.m., folks get a reminder email to pick up their products. So this is our ordering cycle for 2022. Let's start on Thursday. So anytime Thursday or Friday, hopefully before noon, you can go online and add your availability for the week. So, you'll take a look at your garden and what do I think I'm going to have by Wednesday to harvest. Then I said by noon because we open our ordering cycle, and a lot of times people get on right at noon and they may not come back and check again before the ordering cycle is over. So right at noon, we have social media posts scheduled to remind people that we're open, and Kira has a awesome newsletter that goes out every week right at noon. So a lot of people will get that email. They may not even read it, but they should, because it's got great content in it. But sometimes they just see that email and they remember, oh yeah, got to go order for the food hub. So in that email we have, we'll do vendor profiles, recipes, what's happening around the state with food, stuff like that. So Friday you get opens at noon, and then shopping is open Saturday all day, Sunday all day, and then Monday closes at 10 p.m. So just a few minutes after 10 p.m., you'll be sent what's called a pick ticket, and we'll give you a view of that a little bit later. But you'll get a pick ticket that lists exactly what you need to harvest and bring to the food hub on your drop-off day. So on Tuesday is just the food hub isn't open. You're gathering your products, looking at your list, that sort of thing. And then on Wednesday in Homer, the drop-off is 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then in Soldotna, it's 2 to 4 p.m. So you have a 2-hour window to drop your items off. That being said, if that 2 to 4 doesn't work, David and Caitlin, who run the food hub up there, you might be able to arrange with them, hey, I got a doctor's appointment, I need to drop this off at noon, are you going to be there? So you can work it out with them, and they're not here today, but you will meet them if you sign up for the food hub, and I'll get you their information too if you need to talk to them about anything. And then customer pickup starts at 3 in Homer and runs till 6. And that as well as in Nanilchik. In Soldotna, right now it's 4 to 7. And then Seldovia, we right now fly stuff over on it's usually on the 2 p.m. flight. So people just go to the airport there and pick it up. Here's just some more pictures of our wonderful producers. And Dan, once again, I didn't plan, but I really liked, we focused on the female farmers this year. But we're open to all genders. So now I'm going to get into, hi, Luba. Luba's in her PJs.
Okay, you got pictures of my better half, so I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna jump into some of the stats over the last 6 years just to show you how we've grown and expanded and contracted. So as of the end of last year, we had almost 2,000 people signed up for accounts on the Food Hub. That doesn't necessarily mean every person has purchased through the Food Hub. That means they showed an interest, they put their email address in, and unless they've deleted us from their email, they are still getting our notifications. Just over half of those folks are in Homer, and then the next big chunk is in Soldotna, and then a few other locations. Let's see. So last year we sold about 235 memberships. So every customer pays a membership to buy on the Food Hub. They get to try the Food Hub out for up to 3 orders first. And then after that 3rd order, they'll be prompted to pay a membership. And we have a sliding scale. So anywhere from $1 up to $250. There's no difference in any of them. We just wanted to remove that barrier if people saw the membership fee as a barrier. Last year was our biggest year for memberships in terms of value. And we had just under 2020s total for memberships. So we are doing good there. Let's see, our vendor participation. Last year, Homer lost a vendor, and in Soldotna, we lost 7. So for any number of reasons, people may have found different markets. They've moved on for farming. And in Homer, I know we lost a craft vendor. So sometimes crafters try it out, like I said, and then they don't get quite the return that they were hoping for. So they dropped off. This breaks down our vendor types by location. We predominantly have mostly agricultural producers. You can see last year we only had 1 crafter, and then our prepared food has come up quite a bit over the years, and then seafood vendors. I've left the totals in here from the previous years if you want to go back and compare. This is a look at our 2020 sales by type. And then, but here's what we're probably more interested in is our 2021. And I just list this in here so you can see all the different categories. Produce is definitely our biggest seller, followed by cottage food and prepared foods. And then starts and coffee and meat all the way down. So I put this slide in here so you can compare growth and contraction of the different categories. This slide breaks down the categories by type and by location. So last year we sold just under 140,000 in local food sales, which is pretty good. Not quite as good as the year before, but I think there's a couple slides down lower. We'll look at that more. most of our sales are coming from Homer people, about 81%, and then 19% in Soldotna. So that just tells me there's a lot of potential in Soldotna. There's a lot more people there. There's also a lot more places to buy food from. So yeah, just wanted to show you that. Let's see, sales by location. This is over all 6 years, and it's about 76 to 24% Homer compared to Soldotna. This is our growth over the last 6 years. You can see we had a really big year in 2020 that also coincided with COVID restrictions and lockdowns and all that stuff. So a lot more interest, I think, in people being able to shop online and shop at a distance. As things opened up more, we can see Homer dropped just by 3%, and Soldotna dropped by 27%. But overall, both locations have grown almost 400% since we opened in 2016. And all in all, almost $500,000 in local food sales through the Food Hub. These next few slides break down our top selling products by revenue, just so you can have an idea of what sells well on the Food Hub. Like I mentioned, eggs were a big seller, and we just can't, I feel like we sell out of eggs almost every week. Coffee, tea, chicken, grains, baked goods. You can see it all here, and I'll drop down. So this is our top 10 selling over the last 6 years, and similar categories. It's always fun to see greens at the top of the list. Nice to know people are eating their greens. This slide breaks down our sales just in a different way over the last 6 years. And this second kind of teal line is last year. So it pretty much follows the same trends we've seen over the last 5 years. Our weekly sales, both locations, the weekly sales number dropped. And in Homer, though, the average total sale was larger than it's ever been. So I think that can be attributed to having a greater diversity of products. People can buy more from the Food Hub because there's just more selection. Let's see, overall our costs, this is just to kind of highlight some of the costs that the Food Hub incurs and why we collect a membership fee and a percentage of the sales. So we have to pay our site managers, our driver, van insurance and maintenance software, advertising infrastructure like paper bags and cleaners. We have administrative costs of cutting checks to you guys to reimburse you for all of your sales. And then our volunteers, we often give them Food Hub credit so they can, if our regular volunteers, they can get some treats on the Food Hub and enjoy what they're working for. Let's see. So our revenue sources, we're trying to keep our costs low and be sustainable. The last 2 years, we've been able to reach close to even, which is awesome. Again, we started with a USDA grant for our first 2 years, and then I've been running off of the goodwill of Cook Inlet Keeper and the revenues that we make through the Food Hub. Let's see, this breaks down our total income. And this total income does not, I just learned that it includes sales tax. So you can take a little bit off of that. But we're getting close to covering our costs. And again, we've grown quite a bit since 2016. Let's see, our benefits of the Food Hub. We cover your credit card fees. So those are sales that you make that we take the 3.5% hit for. We collect sales tax as well on anything that's sold through the Food Hub during sales tax season. It's a low overhead. Our membership for farmers is only $40, and the markup on your products is 18 to 25%. So that being said, whatever price you list your product for is what you'll be paid. The customer only sees the marked up price. So we encourage wholesale pricing, but again, it's totally up to you. Whatever you need to be paid is what you will be paid. That 25% is on all products except for things like oysters and meats. Since that's a higher value product, we lowered the price or the markup just a little bit because it's actually less intensive to handle as well. Your sales are guaranteed. So if for example, Dan forgets to pick up his order at the end of the day, the customer still gets charged for it. That's not for you to worry about. So people forget stuff, they leave it, you'll still get paid. We do some marketing for you. We are pretty straightforward on the software and training. There is a bit of a learning curve, but most folks get the hang of it. And if you get stuck on anything, Kira and I are here to help you. And then let's see. So some challenges, let's see. Yeah, customer challenges to the Food Hub. So we do annual surveys of both our vendors and our customers. So this is where we are pulling this feedback from. And Kira, definitely pipe in because Kira talks to the vendors and customers a lot more than I do. So if you have anything to add, just jump in. So a few things, pandemic protocols. Some people felt the masking and distancing wasn't necessary. Some felt it was. That's not any new news. That's just our world that we're living in, right? Let's see, turning those registered customers into purchasers. And so, like I said, we had almost 2,000 people signed up on the Food Hub. How do we get them all to keep coming to the Food Hub and buying? And then the other thing, customers may discover a farmer or producer on the Food Hub and then just go around and buy directly from them, which that's a good problem to have, that local food is still being sold. It just doesn't support the Food Hub and help keep our doors open.
And one thing to add, I guess, is lots of customers tell me that they don't realize that some vendors will add product as the cycle opens. So like most people will show up for the Food Hub at 12 on Friday and they won't come back. But I think that's a message that I want to continue to market and let people know that like people are still adding on it, especially after farmers market over the weekend. They have leftover things and they're gonna add it back, and you have 2 more days to purchase that food. So that's something as your coordinator, I'd like to get that message out.
Yeah, thanks, Kira. So our vendor to hub challenge is keeping our vendors happy is really important. So a lot of people, or not a lot, a couple of folks have brought up that the markup can be off-putting and can keep people from wanting to sell on the Food Hub. That being said, we're not taking anything away. We're just adding to whatever price that you're setting for your own products. Getting enough production and diversity into the Food Hub, which over the last few years, we've definitely been adding a lot more, and you can see that in the sales growth, quality control. So things like when you list a bunch of carrots, we want you to be really descriptive, like how much does that bunch of carrots weigh? Is it 12 carrots? Is it 2 pounds? So just try and be like really clear, because people are buying things sight unseen, and we want them to have a good experience. And you as the farmer want to have a good experience too, because there may be 5 different people selling carrots that week, and you want the person that picks your carrots to know exactly what they're going to get and be happy with the item, so they don't go and pick from someone else next time. The other thing that comes up a lot right now, we provide transportation from Homer to Seldovia and to Nicolaives and to Soldotna. So that allows for Homer farmers to sell in both Homer and Soldotna drop-off sites. We haven't figured out a way to do it both ways. It would require an extra van and extra staff, or it would require Homer to start really early in the morning, and it just wouldn't work out with our farmers. That being said, if there's a contingency of Soldotna people that want to send their products down to Homer, you guys are more than welcome to self-organize, and we can look at options around that as well. We offer that up every year, and just haven't had any takers yet, but throwing that out there. Let's see, our 2021 highlights. I think the biggest highlight of the year was finding a coordinator for the Food Hub who is skilled in many things, including marketing. Kira's brought a lot of creativity to our Food Hub marketing, and she's really digging in on how to connect all of our different platforms. So yay, Kira. We've also retained most of our Food Hub sales growth between the 2020 and 2021. I will edit that before I send it to you. It was our longest season in both Homer and Soldotna. We had the highest membership fees. We had growth in all of our product areas, great volunteers, and we moved all of our trainings and vendor payments, our membership payments and applications online. So we really streamlined our online Food Hub and had all of our application materials online. So that's really saved us a lot of time as well. And like I mentioned, it's our second year we broke close to even, which is really great. Let's see, this is just our over the last 6 years, again, increase in sales each year except for last year. Our cottage food variants has allowed for, again, a lot more diversity. We've have a lot more year-round anchor vendors that allow us to open our doors in February and close in December. We have 3 additional locations than when we originally planned this out, and we've helped other Food Hubs think through their operations and have helped them with their planning. So those are just a few of our highlights. Let's see, we can skip over that part. Let's see. Yeah, this is just a reminder of our days and times we'll be operating this year. And then this next part of the presentation is about getting you guys signed up on the Food Hub and showing you the software. So I want to stop for just a second to see if there's any questions from what we just talked about, or if you guys want me to just keep rolling through. Okay. All right, keep rolling through, says Dan. I like your style. It is dinner time. I hear you. So you will find this on our website. If you go to alaskafoodhub.org/vend, you can find our application. It is a Google form, and you can fill that out. It gives you a link to pay your vendor fee while you're doing this as well. And you will get sent a copy of it as well. There's a few things coming up. I just wanted to point out, we often share food and farm opportunities with our vendors. So there's a food festival and conference coming up in mid-March, and then early April is a farmers market summit. March 1st, tomorrow, there's a conservation programs and other resources that benefit producers put on by Kenai Soil and Water and the Extension Service. Alaska micro grants for food security have opened as well. Those are small $5,000 grants that everyone sitting here is eligible for if you have the time to put in an application. So it can be for things like fencing, greenhouses, equipment you might need. So I'd encourage folks to check that out. It's a pretty straightforward application. And then there are the specialty crop block grants that are opening up tomorrow as well. So this is our vendor training 101. Dun, 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 dun. Like I mentioned earlier, this foodhub.org/vend has all your application, your paperwork, the bits and pieces that you'll need to gather to sign up. We'll go over the website, we'll look at the sales platform, and then we'll look at delivery days and a quick review of the policy. So how do you get signed up to sell on the Food Hub? This PDF has a link to all these. They're also listed again under our website under Vend. So you'll need to read through the policy manual and let us know if you have any questions. Just about every question can be answered by looking at the manual. But again, Kira and I are more than happy to answer questions directly. So that's your first step. Look that over. Your second step, should you choose to join the Food Hub after you read through that agreement, you can go to the 2022 online application. Again, it looks like this. And then you are responsible for knowing any food safety protocol requirements, any permits. Kira and I try and flag those for you as well, but ultimately it's your responsibility to learn about those things. And then you can pay your yearly membership. It's $40, and there's a link to pay online. Step 4, if you are if your products require permitting, insurance, or a food worker card, we will need those on file. So again, like the Cottage Food, your oysters, things like that require different documentation. We will need a signed W-9 form. This is for our bookkeepers to be able to cut you checks for the sales on the Food Hub. Then we will also need 2 photos for your online profile. So if you remember Luba's garden, there was one of some crops, and then there was one of Luba farming. Some people use a logo in a farm photo, so we'll need you to send those in JPEG format to Kira at info@alaskafoodhub.org. And just a pro tip for you, those will be cropped into a square format. So try and find photos that'll look good. You don't want a long horizontal one of you riding a tractor into the sunset, maybe just the tractor part. So, and then optional, if you have a business license, you can send it our way. It's not required, but if you have it, you can send that all to us. And this is all, again, on the website in a nice formatted list. So, and then our final step, after you've completed all that, you're going to need to go to our online marketplace and sign up for an account. So we'll go through that here in just a second. But please let us know once you have signed up on the marketplace, because once you sign up, we will convert that into a producer account. And then you can start setting up your profile and watching the training videos and all that. And then, like I said earlier, if you can watch the training videos and look at their user manual. So there is a readable user manual and then a watchable video. So people learn in different ways, whichever way works best for you, has the same information. So your first step, you can try and setting your profile up and also adding products and see how it goes. You probably get a little frustrated at first. Like I said, there's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get it, it usually sticks. And then if you get stuck, give Kira and I a holler and we can hop on a Zoom call like this and walk you through wherever you're getting stuck. Also, if you try something and you think you screwed something totally up, there's nothing we can't fix for you. Nothing we or our software company can't fix. So don't be afraid to try a few things. Let's see. So our website, Shop the Marketplace, that's where people go to shop the marketplace. Imagine that. And then this other link here is the where you go to sign up for your account. That's the one where you sign up for the account and then we'll convert it into a producer account for you. Here, our become a vendor, that's where our checklist is, and our application, all that. That's where we will post a recording of this training today, as well as this PDF. So you'll find all that information there shortly. So once you go to this, our marketplace, it's called Local Food Marketplace. You'll click on that sign up right there, and it'll take you through all the steps to signing up for an account. Once we convert that to a producer account, you're going to want to log in at the bottom. So I'll show you the difference. This may be the number one question where folks get stumped. So sign up here, and then if you're a customer, right below that you see the login. But as to access the producer area, you have to go through the producer login, and that's just at the bottom of the page. Once you are logged in, click on the question mark in the right hand side and you can go to producer guide. That's where all the vendor trainings are. Here's a list of all the different trainings you can do. So you're going to want to look at this getting started for producers, then adding products for sale, and then managing orders. You can ignore that grow for market managers part, because that's more for like Kira and the back end management side of things. So check those out. Again, watch the video and try and do what they're asking you to do. So first step, set up your producer profile. Remember, the 2 photos have to be sent to Kira and I, and we'll upload those for you. Everything else you can customize yourself. One cool thing I didn't point out earlier, you see Twitter Creek Garden. If you have products for sale, like say someone, oh, I want to learn more about Twitter Creek Garden. They click on her picture, it takes them to her online booth. You can see all the products that she has for sale right under her profile. So that's kind of a neat feature. Let's see. So use your online training tools, try adding products and be patient. There's a lot of pieces to look at when you're adding products. One thing we do recommend is if you think you're going to sell for the food hub, spend a little time at the beginning of the season getting your product list together. This can save a lot of time on your busy summer days where you're in the field 14 hours. And this is the last thing you want to look at. So once you get your list set up, you can usually add your availability each week in about 5 to 10 minutes. Getting this list set up may take 2 or 3 hours, depending on how many different products you think you're going to sell. That being said, we have probably about 500 products already preloaded in here. So you can most likely, most of what you're selling is already in here. So you'll just have to search for it, add it, and then customize it. So you can customize your own photos. You can use what photos are in there. We have some stock images, but we find, the eye draws near to things that are different. So if you see a line of carrots that all look the same, and then there's one picture that's different, often your customer eye is going to draw to that area. So if you can come up with your own photos, that's great. If not, we do have stock images. This is just, again, a list of what the products look like once they're posted. Other things to look at. So when you've listed your products, the sales cycle's gone and it's closed, you will get an email letting you know what was sold. You can also access this in your vendor profile. So you'll click on, there's a pick list here. There's also reports. So there's a number of reports. Let's see. Yep, your pick ticket, you can have 2 different views. One shows you, actually, I'll show you. We'll keep going. It's down here a little bit. Here's all the reports that you can check out. And some people use these for crop planning. They can look and see, oh, I sold out of carrots all 4 weeks in August. Maybe I want to plant more this year, something like that. So they can be used in a number of ways. This is what the labels look like. So all of our products need to be source identified, and there's a whole number of ways you can do that. Our software actually produces labels like this down to the customer name, what the item is, and the location. Some people print out just like Luba's Garden. They'll just have that on a bag and put all of what that customer ordered in one bag. So that counts as source identified as well. So again, there's a number of different ways. Some people handwrite tags, some people have stickers. You can get real creative with it. And if you are in doubt, definitely Kira and I and Satchel can give you ideas. So our pick list, this is an example. Again, it's emailed to you, but you can also look for it here under your profile. So this is for Homer Farmers Market, lists how many the cookbook was sold. If there are other items, they would be under here as well. And it tells you where they are going. if you click on if you see here, the pick list format, there's a summary and a detailed. The detailed one will list out customer names. So it's kind of neat to watch your customer base grow. You can see who buys from you regularly, things like that. On delivery day, which are Wednesdays across the food hub, when you come in to the food hub, every customer will have a designated area. So we've started using paper bags, and they'll have in front of them an invoice that lists everything they ordered from the food hub. So as producers come in, the folks attending the food hub will count in items, check in for quality, seeing if anything got left off, and then they will aggregate those products into the customer bags while you wait. And that way, if say Dan, I'm sorry, I keep picking on you, but Dan comes in, he forgot 3 bundles of pak choi. Oh no, what are we gonna do? Dan's still here. He's going to farmer's market. He's gonna just grab some extra from his truck. So that's the reason why we count it in, because if we can mitigate the problem right away, we will. If not, say Dan doesn't have any more pak choi, we can just take it off the order before we run the cards. And then if there's any quality issues, we can look at it together as a team. Let's see. So Wednesdays, yep, all staff right now, volunteer, customer, everybody's required to wear a mask while you're at the food hub. We will let folks know if that changes. We're rolling with that right now. Stay 6 feet away from folks, and then vendors stay out of the aggregation area. We found it's just easier if there's staff in there aggregating the products, and then we don't let customers in while we're aggregating either. So we just found it makes things a little bit easier. So yeah, delivery day Wednesdays. Again, we'll let you know as our protocol changes over time. Let's see, our 2022 policy highlights. As of now, nothing has changed. It's the exact same as last year. We do pay vendors out monthly. So say you sell all of July, as soon as it and we measure it on when the period closes. So if all of our periods close on Wednesdays, so if your cycle started July 29th, but it closed in August, you won't get paid out until you'll get paid out all of August at one time in September. So you can kind of expect checks to come within 10 days of that last closing. So that really helps to keep our costs down with our bookkeepers. And that seems to have worked out. We've done that the last few years. Let's see. I did mention if you have a customer that buys a lot from you, if you group it together, it makes the aggregation grow a lot quicker. Someone like Dan does really good aggregating all of those orders ahead of time because he's in a hurry. He knows he has to go to the farmer's market after that. So he wants to get in and out as quick as possible. So that's just a quick tip. It's not expected, but it definitely helps. And once you see the food and hub in action, a lot of this may make a little bit more sense to you. So our next steps, sign up on the account, sign up for account on the software, complete your application and membership fee. And then once we get that producer account set up, you can log in, watch all the trainings, and then start setting up your products and profile. Yeah, like I mentioned, spending a little bit of extra time here before it before the snow melts, we'll set you up for a quicker process as the summer goes on. Let's see. Oh, and then I think that's, yeah, here we are. That's the end of this training. And I know that that was a lot of information. Hopefully, if you do decide you read through the manual, you want to join the Food Hub, hopefully you have a lot of time now to look through a lot of those videos and make some mistakes and we fix them with you, that sort of a thing. Yeah, and I think a lot will become more clear as you get and actually get some hands-on experience with this. So I have my email here, Kira's email, and then Kira and I have joint custody of an email as well on here. So if you want us both to see something, you can send it to that info one. So wanted to see if there are any questions. I think there's probably a good bit. Clear as mud. Dan, as our veteran vendor here, do you have any words of advice or anything you'd like to share?
Not really. You pretty much covered everything. I was mainly I came on to see how we did last year and stuff like that, which you got on early, and I probably was part of it, but that's okay. The last half I really didn't need to see.
We're glad to have you anyway.
I didn't want to just leave on you, you know.
It's okay. We could have, but yeah, I guess, have you, over the last 6 years, do you find value in the Food Hub? I mean, obviously you do.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of actually hoping I can get the food sales up on the hub enough to where I don't bother with the Wednesday market.
Mhm.
And that's kind of the goal, but it's gonna take a while. I'm still getting a feel for what sells and what doesn't.
Yeah. Well, if there's no other questions, we can definitely bug out a little bit early. And I've
Okay.
copied down y'all's email addresses. So I'll send this out probably tomorrow. It's dinner time and my dog's telling me, so I have to go do that. But definitely reach out to us with any questions anytime, and we hope you join the Food Hub because it's fun.
Okay. See you, Robbie.
Bye guys, thank y'all for being here.